Hello, my friends. I had a wonderful workout. In fact, I was telling Connie, I'm sweating more now that I am while I'm cooling down, and than I was when I was out there running and walking. It's funny, but that's because your body's letting it all out. I'm on my second bottle now. Okay. This is going to be water talk, not coffee talk, because I got to get my water in. I had someone. This is what happened. She went to her doctor, and she's just started her journey, right? And she's only been to one class with him, or the support group thing. I don't know if it's with him. Anyway, and she says that she was in the examining room and everything, and he was telling her about I want you to eat 3 meals a day. I want you to do your best not to snack in between. If you have to, go ahead. Make sure you grab the protein, not the carbs or anything like that, sugary carbs or stuff like that. And that he kept repeating grazing, and I don't want you to graze, and back and forth with the word graze. And she's like, Mama Rose, I know that you say that you will answer our questions as best as you can. She goes, I know that you may not know the answer, but I hope you do. And she goes, I don't want to sound dumb, something to that effect. I can't read the letter to you, but something to that effect, that she felt she felt like she couldn't ask her doctor, what are you talking about? What's grazing? And I can so relate. I've been there, girlfriend. I remember the first time I heard the word grazing, I'm like, I've never heard it. I had never heard that. And so I'm with you. I understand what you're talking about. So I'm going to try and describe it and help you out as best as possible, okay? Again, I'm not a nutritionist. I've only been in my journey 9 years, and so I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. Okay, so grazing, you may want to look at, and I'm visual, so I'm going to give you some visuals. Oh, I still got makeup from last night. For example, he wants you to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. In between, that's when you get your water in. And you may think at the beginning, I'm barely eating, I'm barely taking a couple of bites of this and a couple of bites of that, and I'm done. Well, remember, let me show you something. I hate to turn my body around, so I don't want to show you my booty. But remember this. I want you to look at this. This is what your pouch looks like. Unless you have a sleeve, then it's a little bit, it looks like a banana, but it's about this much food that you're going to be able to put into it. Yeah. So you may think you're not eating enough, but your pouch has taken all that it's going to take, right? So don't think like what you used to have. You used to have a stomach this big. Now you've got a stomach that looks like this. They say that our stomachs used to look like footballs. So just think about it. How much are you eating? All right. Now, it will stretch a little bigger. Like my pouch is probably stretched out about that much. But not much more than that. Because I can get a cup of food in now. Before, I was only able to get maybe a fourth was the maximum at one time in my journey. Think about it. You've got the egg. I put the egg back already. I had to come back and add this to the video. Think about it. What are you putting in that egg? In your pouch, the egg. Remember that you've got to make it count. If you're just sticking pretzels in it, it's just going right through. And tostadas and, all that good stuff that we can just, all that just slides down us. What we need to put in it is protein, vegetables, and a little bit of fruit if we can. So we really, 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 really need to pay attention on what we're putting in that pouch so that we're not grazing, so that we don't want to put more food in it. Make it count. Protein, it takes longer to process. That's why it stays in us longer. So some chicken and some fish is what you really want to eat. You know, a little bit of steak, but whatever protein you feel the need to eat. So that's why, you know, most doctors tell us protein, because it's going to stay in us longer and it takes longer to digest. All right? That was just a point I wanted to get across. So what I want you to think about is that you've got to allow that food to go down and emulsify itself. Now, Alfred Guns, I've been telling you that he did a video, and I may just link it down below. That way it makes it so much easier. And you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. He talks about how your body needs to take the time to process what you just put inside of it. Because grazing means if you go, okay, you ate breakfast, and then an hour later you put more into it. Did you give it any time to digest? Did you give it any time? Remember, I'm a visual person. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I hope I am. That's what you've got to keep up here. Have I given it time to digest? Now, a lot of people believe they need to eat every 2 hours. That theory may be okay for some people, but for us, we need that time for our food to digest. I didn't get it either. It's taken 9 years for me to get it. Rosemary. See, I ain't perfect. There ain't no perfect people here. But we gain knowledge every time we watch a video, right? Right now I'm going through some issues with menopause, but let me tell you, I push through, and there's a huge difference I feel in the way I think now, in the way I feel now. I'm making the best me that I can make. I ain't worried about anybody else but me right now. You know, there was a time where I thought I had to do it her way and his way. Oh, I got to do it this way. I'm not telling you to do it my way either. I'm just explaining what grazing means and how good I feel. Ever since I have allowed my food to really do its thing through my body, I am working. I was telling my husband that it just feels so much better. My body feels so much better in the morning now. I'm ready to get up. I'm ready to spend some time with him. I'm not drowsy. I'm not groggy. I'm ready to get up. And I think that it has a lot to do with me not eating at night. I stop after dinner, and then I get all my water in. I even have a nice cup of tea, or sometimes I decide to get a cup of coffee. It just depends on my mood. But it's just a wonderful feeling. I can't explain it any other way. So anyway, I hope I explained what grazing means. Eat what you're going to eat for breakfast. Give yourself that time. I couldn't tell you how many hours. I would, you know, whatever it takes, 3 to 4 hours. Have your lunch, have your dinner, and then at night it's time to let what you've eaten process. Give it that processing time, so that in the morning you can eliminate the waste. I hope I made some sense. So I hope I answered your question. Thank you for the question. I appreciate it. I know that you could have given it to so many other people that could probably answer it a lot better. And I just feel that now that I've learned this, even if it took me a while to learn it, I've already gone through what doesn't work. Now I'm going through something that is working. And I appreciate my brother-in-law that can, relay the message to me several ways. Because believe me, he had already told me about this. But I wasn't listening. And now, I think it was just my time to listen, you know. I let it soak in, and of course I'm a visual person, and he made it so visual for me that it just kind of like clicked. And now at night, I can come through this kitchen and go back to bed. It doesn't even make sense to me because I'm thinking, my body has got to rest. My body's got to process all that food. I'm not going to interrupt it by sticking something in my mouth. No. I'm going to make it work for me. So, sometimes we're not ready to hear what we need to hear. So, I was ready this time. I love you guys. I'll see you when I see you. Thanks again. Bye.